hopefully get this mic untangled. Let's see. Do. Hopefully it's not making a bunch of noise for you. I'm going to mute it just for a second. You like that apron there, Critter? Can somebody tell me if the audio sounds okay? My other one I think is dead. I would charge it, but I don't have enough. Oops, where'd we go? Oop. Sexy. Okay, so what's y'all drinking? It is Friday, Memorial Day weekend here. That camera looks crooked. Memorial Day weekend here. So there are going to be all kinds of people out and about making noise. I'm going to fix that real quick. Is that better? I think it's better. Okay. Yeah, Memorial Day weekend starts today here, and it's been a madhouse. Luckily, I got off work a little bit early so I could get set up, and of course, it took until the last minute to get everything done. As you saw, didn't even have the mic on yet. But let me test something. There's no camera 2, camera 3, camera 4. Okay. I think we're okay there. You thought I was on a hill. Yeah. So, what are we doing today? Today, we are going to do a meal plan for a long trip, like a BDR type of 7-day meal plan, most of which won't need to be refrigerated. Some of the stuff you can just grab along the way, but I'll walk you through those, and hopefully, well, no, three cameras. The other GoPro is dead. That GoPro there, that's a GoPro, and it's working for now, but we'll see. And then this one here, that one, we're trying something new, so we will find out. Hollywood, whatever. Just trying to do something different. They say different is better than better, or something like that. I've heard that somewhere. Doing something different might be better than doing something better. I don't know. That's what I'm going with. But I did ask the patrons what video they wanted to see, and Captain Kirk had suggested a BDR meal plan. So that's what we're going to do today, with a bonus meal. But you're on StreamYard now after your struggle last night. Chris, did you do the paid plan, or are you on the free one for now? Because there's both. We can talk about that offline. That don't matter. Let's grab some food. I got a couple different things here. Okay, yeah, free is great. Honestly, the only thing you can't do with the free one is that little logo that's up here in the corner. That's the only thing that you can't do. What's up, Kirk? So yeah, this is for you. Who all we got in there real quick? My mouse work? No. That probably needs to charge too with the reach all the way over there. So we got Mike, we got Critter, got Tourist on Two Wheels, hey. And then I saw Kirk. All right. What does it say? Uh-oh. I have someone else in there to harass me. But, so this right here, Miss Jenny, this cube is 7 days of meals. And I'm going to walk you through this whole thing. Let's start with that. And what I did was I kind of bagged them up into mini capsules inside. I should have, can you see that? Let me move some stuff out of the way. I haven't even decided which one, or what I'm going to cook tonight. So in this cube, like I said, there's 7 days. 7 days worth of meals. Not just 7 meals, but 7 days. So I'm going to start here. This is day 0. This is the bonus one. I don't know if you can see that. But what this has in there is, so your very, very first day. So day 0, I call it. That's going to be your travel day to get to, say, the start of a BDR route that you're going to be doing. So you're going to ride whatever, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, hopefully not quite that long, to get to your starting point. And then camp that night. And then day 1 will be the morning after, where you'll take off. So my 0 day, what I have in here real quick is, I've got, and this one you'll see there's some repetitions. So I've got a cheese and pepperoni for in the afternoon. I've got a couple of drink mixes, because I'm not a fan of drinking just plain water. I like to flavor it up a little bit. I would also suggest adding some electrolytes in there, so that throughout the day, not only are you getting water, but you're replenishing the salts and sugars that you need for the electrolytes. I have a fruit bar as another snack. And then I've got some of my soy sauce and chili sauce packets for my dinner for that 0 night. And that dinner is in the bottom of this bag. So in my luggage, I carry a cooler bag to where it'll all collapse down. But I can hit a grocery store, convenience store, something like that, and I can grab a couple of beers. And if there's anything that I want to ice up, I can grab a bag of ice. But day 0 is, we've already done a live stream with this, is our egg roll in a bowl. So I've got some Jimmy Dean sausage here, and I got a bag of cabbage, and I've got some chili sauce, and I got some soy sauce, and your first meal right there. So this isn't going to last a couple of days. You can't keep this sausage without it being cold for more than about a day. So that's our 0 day meal, which you've seen that on a previous live stream. We're going to tuck that away. So now we got our day 1. So day 1, we're going to start off with, I did in the morning, so I have some dehydrated potatoes, hash browns. I meant to get some powdered eggs, but I don't have any powdered eggs. But I was going to do I was going to hold over some of the sausage from the egg roll in a bowl, brown the sausage, set some aside so I can throw it in my scramble in the morning. So I've got, all you do with these dehydrated hash browns is you just cover them with water, let them sit for a couple of minutes, press out the water so you don't have that excess that you're trying to cook out water that you just got done throwing in there. So the hash browns, powdered eggs, which you just rehydrate again with some water. I think it's 1 part powdered, 2 parts water, I think. But it's going to say on the package when you buy it. The sausage, and then you could have like a cheese stick. I did not put a cheese stick in here, but I meant to put cheese sticks in the first couple of days. So you could just break up that cheese stick, not the one that goes with the pepperoni, but like a regular white cheese, mozzarella, string of cheese. Just break that up, throw that in your scramble, and you've got breakfast taken care of. Then again, like I said, the repetitive part was we've got some, that's not the repetitive part. We've got the fruit stick, we've got the drink mixes, we've got the pepperoni and cheese. Also got some trail mix. That gets us breakfast. Well, the scramble along with the coffee. I do coffee every morning, and I don't usually eat breakfast, but I do start with coffee. So if there's a breakfast eater out there, I'm going to include that in there. But the pepperoni stick, trail mix, fruit bar, drink mixes, some electrolytes again, and then that gets us through lunch. And then for dinner I've got Zatarans, beans and rice, or they got the dirty beans, a little bit spicy. And then also in that cooler pack, I've got a kielbasa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook up the rice per the directions. I'm going to fry up the kielbasa, throw the two together. Honestly, this feeds 2 people easily. So I'm assuming that if you're doing a BDR, you're going to be riding with somebody else. So right there, you've got dinner for 2. They carry their own snacks. You're set. And it's amazing. This right here, the kielbasa or the sausage, whatever they've got like 5 different flavors of this. When I started RV camping, this was our dinner the night that we arrived. I wanted something that was hearty, something that tasted good, something that was easy. So we might get off work at 5 o'clock, leave at 6 o'clock, get to the campground around 8. Once we're set up, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then we're cooking dinner. We're having dinner at 9, and it's a nice warm dinner. It's not just a convenience store garbage, stuff like that. We got right there. Let me check in the chat. So, Kurt, you're going to go out to Cle Elum, I believe? Zero day is just snacks because you're still in shock from actually being on an adventure. Exactly. Zero day meal is sleep because it's what you gone without for the 3 nights. Oh man, Chris, speaking of getting, being excited and stuff like that, I know that you are super excited for a trip that you're getting ready to start here too. Constantly reviewing gear packs. So those little drink mixes are clutch. They are, honestly, it was my wife had actually started it. I just went without drinking. I mean, I probably was dehydrated most of the time, and now I've got a cup there with some drink mix. I've got that from the getlostfindyourself.com.org, that Get Lost Find Yourself website. We got what I think it's watermelon flavored, but I always have water on me, and I've got a box of the flavor packets tucked around all over the place. Hey, Angel Face. Just overnight, Kirk. Yeah. I am debating, so I will message you, Kirk. The wife and I were in discussion, so that is still open for an opportunity. Okay, so day 0, day 1. That's all that needs to be refrigerated. Like I said, the first couple of days in these, the snack kits part, the lunch parts, I would throw a cheese stick in there, but I don't have them. So I didn't grab the powdered milk for day 7. We're looking ahead. The powdered eggs I didn't grab either. that would be something I would add to this. And then the cheese sticks. The cheese sticks they don't need to be refrigerated if you eat them in the first couple of days. If you're carrying the pack, which this is only going to be if I have like a base camp. I'm not going to grab ice every night. I might grab a couple beers when we stop for gas before we head to our camp for the night. But I'm not going to grab ice every night. It's just too bulky. So this cooler pack that I have, I'm only using that for the first couple of nights. Then I'm collapsing it, and I'm only going to use it for when I stop to grab some beer. I mean, an adult beverage, and head to camp. But that's not going to be every night. And moving on, where are we at? Was it over there? There we go. There we go. Now I'm looking at you. Kind of, sort of. Rolling through Washington Coast Sunday afternoon, night, if anyone is around. So you and Dave are going to go down out to Forks and then drop down and follow the 101 along the coast, I'm assuming. That is a great ride. Okay. All right. Some of these are going to make a lot of sense, and some of these are going to be like, Corey, where the heck did you get this idea? So day 2, what did I do for day 2? I should probably check my list. Because I numbered the snack bag, but the other main ingredients there, I didn't. And if you want this list, I don't have anything in the show notes. I don't have anything down there in the description. If you just send an email to my adv360@gmail.com and just put in the subject line 7-day meals, I will send you my list and all the ingredients. And yeah. Okay. So day 1, breakfast, coffee, and the scramble, hash browns, powdered eggs, sausage, cheese sticks. Lunch, covered. Dinner, dirty beans, rice, and the sausage. Okay. Day 2 now. So again, for breakfast, I have coffee every day. And for the first couple of days, I also put in, did I not put one in day 1? Maybe I didn't. Pop-Tarts or toaster pastries, to be more correct. I only put these in the first 3 days because by the time you put them in and out of your bag, by the 3rd day, they're probably just going to be crumbles anyways, but you're going to chew them up and they still taste the same. But day 1 through 3 or 4, I've got a Pop-Tart in there for breakfast, and then my coffee. Again, I've got trail mix. I've got a little packet with the pepperoni, the fruit stick, the drink mix. I've got another little secret thing in here. Got this tiny little thing of tahine, Mexican spice flavor, stuff like that. If you don't know, this tastes amazing on the little cut up fruit, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon, whatever else that they have in the grocery store. This stuff is amazing on there. It's a little bit of citrus, a little bit of heat, a little bit of salt. It's amazing. If you know, you should try. But that goes with our meal for day 2. So the tahine powder in there is for the can of chicken. So in my kitchen kit, I also have a P38 can opener. I'm going to strain the water out of this. I'm going to warm up this can of chicken. I'm going to dump this tahine powder on there. It's going to give it a little bit of kick. Once I warm up that chicken, Kirk, I think I made this meal at that state park we stayed to in Oregon with Steve and you and Matt and Mike. Was there more? I think that was it. But I did some pollo the chicken and mole. So mole is a Mexican sauce. It's a Mexican sauce. It's got, it's like a chocolate flavor. I know it sounds weird. It's got like a dark chocolate. It's got like a chili flavor in it. It's freaking amazing. But you warm up the chicken, maybe brown it a little bit. You pour that mole sauce on it. You warm up a bag of this Spanish rice. This is a microwave version. What you can do is you just cut the top open. You put like a tablespoon or two of water in there. Boil it in your jet boil if you have it, or whatever. Boil it in the water. It's all you're doing is warming it up. You're adding a little bit of water to it. And right there you've got Spanish beans. You've got pollo con mole. What I would do that day on the way to camp is I'd grab a bag of tortilla chips. So you can do that. Just scoop it all with the tortilla chips. You could also have a package of tortillas. Tortillas are an amazing bread option. So you could either do this or the tortillas. It's great. It's easy. Like I said, you've got 3 main ingredients. You warm them all up, mix them all together. A side of rice. You could do I think I did a can of beans when we did the Oregon trip. But yeah, a can of beans, a bag of rice, a can of chicken, and some mole sauce, and either some tortilla chips or some tortillas, and boom, you've got a meal. This right here would easily serve 2. I think I just doubled the chicken and the beans, maybe the rice, and I think I served 4 or 5 people. Yeah. Oh, those hash browns, I get them at, this was our day 1 breakfast. So they're these dehydrated potatoes. That was what I used in that bag, just so you know. Okay. That was day 2. Yeah, day 2. Let's review. So for breakfast, we had coffee, we had the Pop-Tart, we had our nuts and pepperoni and cheese and fruit snacks and drink mix. And then dinner, we had pollo con mole. There you go. Over here in the chat, let's check in here. Thank you, Mike. And honestly, Chris, I would probably be winging it most of the time too. I would probably plan 2 meals, but since this was requested, I thought it was a great opportunity to not only do some of my main, that tripod's right in the way, not to go through some of my main ideas as far as meals go, but to add a couple more. Tahini is amazing on popcorn also, yes. Thank you, Kirk. Yeah, it was fun. I think the only thing I didn't do that meal was I didn't know about adding some water to the rice, and I think the rice was a little bit undercooked. But other than that, yeah, it was great. Mole sauce is awesome. Try it. Like I said, you could do, if you had an opportunity to stop and get like one of those rotisserie chickens, that would totally step it up another notch. But you don't have to. That right there, everything in that was shelf stable. Minus the chips are going to be good for a while. The tortillas are going to be good for a while. You're not going to be traveling too long with the chips because they're going to just become crumbles. But the tortillas, they pack super easy. Yes, please. Mike, thank you for suggesting that smash that like button. Okay. Let's see. All right, that was day 2. Day 3. Again, we're going to start off the morning with coffee. We're going to start it with a Pop-Tart. And that's about where the similarities finish. Pete or Soilsman had actually suggested this on, or carried it on one trip. I think it was a Tour Attack trip or something like that. They have these pickles in a bag. I had never heard about that. But as far as that electrolyte conversation that we had goes, these are filled with electrolytes. The salt and sugars is what really what it is. Maybe some magnesium. But this bag has at least 3, 4, 5 little pickles in there. And then you drink the juice, and the juice is awesome. We were riding one weekend out there in Leavenworth area, and we stopped at a bar and we actually ordered a shot of pickle juice. Unfortunately, the kitchen didn't have it, but when we stopped for lunch, we asked them for it, and that wasn't the first time they'd had hikers come in there and ask the same thing. They'd had dirt bike riders, right? But pickle juice is amazing, and it will again help you retain some of that liquid. So that's part of my lunch option. These things are like $1.50 a bag. Again, shelf stable. I don't want to carry any glass in there, so I'm not going to carry a jar of pickles, but a bag of pickles, heck yeah. Again, we got that Pop-Tart that I mentioned, and so yeah, and I just had, I only had it packed in there for like a day, and it's already starting to crumble a little bit. I got a couple more drink mixes, a fruit bar, and my pepperoni and cheese. So that's our day 3 lunch. What did we do? What did we do for dinner on this one? We did barbecue pulled pork. So Corey, how are you going to do pulled pork? I was going through Costco the other day. My wife will vouch for this. And I saw on the shelf the stack of like 4 or 5 cans of pulled pork in a can. And I don't even need the can opener in this one. Strain the water. Plastic barbecue sauce. And you could, if you were going to run through town, grab some buns. But the buns come in like an 8-pack. You're not going to feed 8 people with this. You're not going to feed 4 people. 2 people aren't going to eat 4 of them. So I would just either throw it in a bowl and eat it with a fork, or again, the tortilla is an option, but warm up, strain the water off, warm up the pulled pork, throw the barbecue sauce on it. Super easy, super hearty, and no refrigeration needed. Let's see, that's day 4. So we're just buzzing through here. Let's go back over here and let's check out the chat. You have a strange crazy for raspberry Pop-Tart. I didn't grab rat, but I did grab strawberry. It was either strawberry or it was the cinnamon one. That's those 2 right there. Those are hard. When I was putting this together yesterday, I already ate one of my Pop-Tarts, and it was around dinner time, and I'm craving them now too. And Mike says I like spam, or is it like spam or like I like spam? Spam's coming up. Spam is coming up. Where's it at? Did I not? I didn't do spam. You know what I did? Okay, so day 4 now. Day 4, again, we're on our final Pop-Tart. Trail mix, pepperoni and cheese, drink mix, fruit bar. So that's along with some coffee for breakfast. That's breakfast and lunch. And then, bam. So I'm going to slice this up. What did I do? I didn't do, again, you could do this as a scramble also. So you could slice up some of it, fry it, throw it over some white rice, have that egg powder that I talked about. You could warm up scrambled some eggs, throw it on top of the rice, fry up some Spam, throw that on top of that, and held over from day 1, we could use some more sweet chili sauce. So on that, no, day 0, our 0 day, I forgot to mention that you could bring some of that sweet chili sauce that we did. So you've got sweet chili sauce on the Spam, scrambled eggs, white rice, warmed up the same way as we did the other rice. If you're not a fan of Spam, just try this. Just try it. Try it. Bag of rice, scramble some eggs, slice up, cube up, because they're smaller. Cube up the Spam, fry it, brown it just a little bit like that. Put that sweet chili sauce on it. Yes, please. Yes, please. Okay. Day 3 and day 4 were mixed up on my list, but we are caught up now. The Spam and eggs was originally day 3 because I was using that sweet chili sauce that I forgot to mention from day 0. It's all confusing, but it's starting to make sense now. And we're just going to roll right through here. Day 5. And see, we're already like 2/3 of the way through our trip, and I'm still working off of that one cube. That one cube. All I had to do was stop in town for a bag of chips, and yeah, that's it. A bag of chips on one day. You can throw a bag of tortillas, a package of tortillas in here, and you've got your breads. Okay. I'm flustered. Is it a coincidence that this is all processed and canned meats and that you are ex-military? Not necessarily that I'm ex-military, but I was stationed in the Philippines for a year, so the Spam might be part of that. And the canned meat did we have? That might be, Chris. It's a good point. I never even considered that. Oh, the bug juice. Bug juice, for those that don't know, bug juice is super concentrated Kool-Aid. It was so concentrated, we used it to clean the brass fittings on the boat. Exactly. So yeah, if you get your trip gets cut short for whatever reason, all of this stuff can go right back on the shelf when you get back home. The main thing though was that it's stuff that doesn't need to be refrigerated along the trip, because that's how are we going to do that? I mean, even if I have a cooler bag, I don't want to stop and grab ice every day. I could. I mean, you could drive to the drive-thru and ask for a cup of ice. I mean, you could grab a cup of water, ice water at the convenience stores, but it's a pain. But yeah. Okay, so where are we at? Spam, corned beef hash. That was on my list of meal ideas. So that is coming up there in the future. And not one peak refuel. No, there are no dehydrated meals in a bag on this list. Kind of, sort of. But yeah, corned beef and hash. Man, that sounds so good right now. Okay, we're on day 5, right? Day 5? Yes. Okay, day 5. We've got another pickle in a bag. We make the shift. Was it? Yes. We make the shift now in day 5 to oatmeal for breakfast, because our Pop-Tarts are going to be powder by now. So you could do instant oatmeal, you could do cream of wheat, you could do a grits, anything like that. You got to warm up water for the coffee anyways. You might as well warm up a little bit more and then actually have a meal. I chose oatmeal for my next couple of breakfasts. Originally, I had a little bit more variety as far as the scrambled eggs and stuff went. But since I didn't get that, I didn't want to include that in the list. But The other option you could do is you could have the measured out bags of the pancake mix, yes, pancakes, and the packets of either syrup or peanut butter or honey that you can get at the restaurants. So you could do pancakes super easy. You could do, like I said, cream of wheat or grits or I don't know if the powdered eggs would work on French toast, but I'm not going to be carrying bread either, so that's kind of moot. But so day 5 breakfast, coffee and oatmeal. If you want to eat something for breakfast, I usually don't. Again, we've got our repetitive things. I do on the drink mixes. I do change them up. I think about every other day was something different, and then it would repeat after like 3 days. So 3 different days, and then something that so your drinks are there's a variety of drinks. So the drink mixes, the pepperoni and cheese, the pickle in a bag, oatmeal for breakfast, and for dinner, what do we do for dinner? This is our second convenience store stop. So for the mole, I suggested stopping and grabbing a bag of chips. Again, on day 5, we're going to stop and we're going to grab a bag of Fritos because today we're going to do Frito in a pie. You can expand upon this, but for me, the mainstay for Frito in a pie, besides the Fritos, I've got a can of chili. That's really the only thing that you have to warm up is the chili. You could grab cheese, but we're on day 5 now. It's not going to stay good for 5 days in the heat. I wouldn't really want to. And then I grabbed an onion because I love onion on my chili. What you could do is you could plan your meals out to where if there was a meal, say I wanted to do egg roll in a bowl and I wanted to use the onions in it, then the next day I could use the rest of the onion and I could do it in the egg roll in a bowl. I mean the Frito pie. So I've got Fritos, I've got the chili, I've got the onion. Cheese is an option if you can get it at the convenience store. It would be a nice option, but like I said, I didn't want to refrigerate it, so it wasn't included here. And if you have extra chili, is that possible? No, bacon, you don't have that. You never have extra bacon, but if you had extra bacon for your Frito pie, you could use that as part of day 6, which in my bag here, I have oatmeal again for day 6, but you could do the hash browns again that I showed you, the dehydrated hash browns. You could do the powdered eggs. You could do the chili. You could do the onion, and you could make yourself like a Western omelet kind of scramble breakfast. That's an option. Powdered eggs, dehydrated hash browns, and then leftovers from the dinner before. Why not? But if you don't, day 6, we've got oatmeal and coffee again for breakfast. We've got our trail mix again. We've got our fruit stick. And the fruit sticks are changing all the time too. The drink mixes are changing. And the pepperoni and cheese. You could change up the nuts. The nuts are super shelf stable. So you could add cashews one day. You could do almonds another day. There's an acronym. There's like a 3-letter acronym. And it's like the M&Ms and the nuts and stuff like that. But you could, all kinds of variety there. So day 6, breakfast, lunch. And for dinner on day 6, I've never tried it yet, but just for information, everything liquid comes in a bag. So it's bagged again, just because I don't want a bag, say the bike falls over and something gets crushed in there. I want that insurance policy that it's not going to go over everything else in that bag. I'm going to try and contain it if at all possible. But Trader Joe's had this, it's called Kichari. Never heard of it. Can you even read that? Can we read that? It's an Indian food. I've never had it before, I don't know if you put it over rice. They're showing maybe like some naan. You could replace that naan with the tortilla again. But they have microwave and they have stovetop instructions on that. And it looks like it's just a warm it up, kind of something warm to eat for dinner. Trader Joe's has a bunch of amazing meals. This just happened to be one that I had sitting in my pantry that I haven't tried yet. So I wanted to throw that out there as an option. Super easy, super easy. Day 7. Okay, so now we're getting, I don't, it depends on which BDR you're doing or which road trip you're doing. But now we're just trying to honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I'm probably going to stop and have a couple of meals at restaurants along the way. So chances of me even getting to day 7 meals are very unlikely. I'm just packing them just in case I need a meal for that extra day. So what I did, I've got my my last day of my oatmeal. I've got my meats and my cheese and my fruit and my drink mix to get me through the breakfast and lunch. And then I got some, that was probably really loud, I'm sorry. Trail. I got to come back to that. But mac and cheese, why not? I loved it as a kid. It's shelf stable. Even if it does get busted open, I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. I did look it up because I didn't have any powdered milk. You can replace that powdered milk option with just some of the pasta water. It probably won't be as creamy, but it's a meal. And it's your last meal because you're probably either on your way home now or you ate out a couple of times along the way. Maybe you were camping close to town and you just went into a pub and grill and had a beer in there and meal, and that was it. So you skipped one of your meals or your other meals got bumped back. But that's day 7. Where are we at? Let's check over here. Fritos are corn chips in Canada. They don't, oh, that's right, because they didn't, the brand, that was a brand thing. I did know that. Let's scroll back. Hot spicy pickles in a bag are, that does sound amazing. Hot spicy pickles. I like that. Hash, yes, Mike. Fritos corn chips. McChicken, how you doing? Let's see. Trail mix. Tough riders adventuring inlands, mountains, and intense exploration. But no, it was like I can't remember. It was one of the hiking YouTube videos that I was watching, and one of the guys on there talked about that. I'm over here looking at that camera, and this is one that's on over here. Sorry, guys. But it was like 3 or 4 letters, and it was just an acronym for the different ingredients in the trail mix. Drone cache. Angel face. That's an interesting option. I don't know. I guess it depends on how close you are to a distribution center. I know that Amazon is working on that, but that would be that would actually be interesting. Okay, so yeah, 7 days of meals, all packed in this one little packing cube, minus a couple of grocery stores. I mean, not even grocery store stops. 2 convenience store stops along the way for a bag of chips and another bag of chips. So Chris, corn chips. So are tortilla chips and corn chips the same? Or are they both corn? Because they're both from corn. I'm gonna wait a little bit while you answer that one. So as far as I'm concerned, that is it. Do you think we should cook any of these? We don't need to cook mac and cheese. That's silly. That's just silly, Corey. We're not going to cook oatmeal because that would be silly. We could do the Spam, or we could do the mole, or we could do dirty beans and rice. What are you guys thinking? 100% better than MREs. Yes. Way better than MREs. They won't bind you up as much. And okay, good to know, Chris. So what does Miss Jen want to eat for dinner? Actually, I'm going to let the rest of the community decide what Miss Jen gets to eat for dinner. Like I said, I've got the pollo con mole we could do. I've got the Spam. No, I can't do the Spam. Sorry, honey. Can't do the Spam. I know you're disappointed because I don't have the egg powder. But yeah, we could do the mole. We could do egg roll. I can't do egg roll in a bowl because that is frozen, but I could do the summer sausage and the dirty beans and rice. Or we could just wrap it up. What do you guys think? Pop-Tarts for dinner. Deal. All right. Do I got any other questions? Got to save some for tomorrow night. There will be plenty there, Mr. Kirk. If I make it out there, I will let you know. But it will all be in there. And I think there will be all kinds of people willing to eat it there too. So like I said, if you want this list, since I wasn't thoughtful enough to put it in the description of the video, send me an email, myadv360@gmail.com, and just in the subject line put day 7 meals, and I will send you off the list of ingredients. And yeah. Dinner, put it all back in the bag, close your eyes, and pull out 3 ingredients. Oh, I know what the ingredients feel like, so it would make it a little bit easier. What all do I have? Do I even have my jet boil here? Can I do the rice? Let me see what I got behind me. Let me see. I got gas cans. I got lots of gas cans in here, but I don't have. No, okay. I can't do that. I would, because the dirty beans and rice takes 2 pans. So I have a couple of methods for making coffee. I prefer the AeroPress. The AeroPress, it's like this big syringe thing. There's a paper filter in the bottom with a screen. You put the coffee grounds in there. I fresh grind mine each morning. Almost boiling water. Let it steep for a couple of minutes, and then you press it out. And it's supposed to be similar to an espresso, but it's just like stronger coffee is what I'm going to call it. It's not really an espresso. I do have a French press for my jet boil. That's an option, but the cleanup for me, the cleanup for the French press is more work. On the AeroPress, once you press the coffee out, there's just a little puck of coffee grounds. You just pop that out. You can actually rinse that paper filter, and you can reuse that again. You put it back in that strainer, you close it back up, and it's going to be dry, and it's going to be, you can use that for several days in a row. So there's no waste. There's no difficult cleanup. The AeroPress is my preferred way. I know that Kirk uses the little capsules, the Nespresso capsules, and If you boil the water before that, and it just runs the water through the Nespresso cups, the packets, pouches, pucks, it actually makes really good espresso. What other options did I have for coffee? Trader Joe's actually has, if you like cream and sugar in your coffee, they have these instant coffee packets that are sweetened and creamer in it. And as far as coffee, instant coffee that's easy to make, you just dump that whole packet in some hot water to dissolve it, and it tastes really good. What else did I do for coffee? The AeroPress, the French press. Oh, I have a pour over thing also that I don't carry all of these. I mean, I do have a trailer and I can carry most of them, but the pour over uses the little cone shaped filter, and there's a collapsible coffee filter holder. So you can do pour over coffee, and then you just take that coffee grounds in a paper filter and dispose of it responsibly. I do have that, but out of those options, AeroPress is my favorite. The French press, maybe. I like the pour over. It's just slow. Like I said, the French press is more work. Mike wants to know. That's what Mike wanted to know, how I make the coffee. Fresh coffee beans, bougie, yes. And it's so much of a workout too, because you've got that hand crank coffee grinder, and it probably takes longer to grind the coffee beans than it does to actually drink the coffee. So it's bougie, but and cowboy coffee is good. The trick to cowboy coffee is to get the grounds to settle. Otherwise, you're picking it out of your teeth. But I hear that if you splash a little bit of cold water in it right at the end, as it's starting to cool, most of the grounds will settle to the bottom. You could also cowboy coffee it and then run it through a paper screen or filter or napkin or something like that. But what's your food question, Angel Face? Oh, Naya. Yeah, it was something like that. That cool little Nespresso coffee, or you could use your coffee grounds too to run it through that. Yes, Chris, Trader Joe's is awesome. And I think you got some seasoning. What was that, salmon or fish seasoning? That mint and garlic and something like that you put on the fish. That sounded so awesome. Someone might have asked this before. What is it, Angel Face? Shoot, and I will try and answer. Here, I'll look at you guys over here. Anybody else have any questions? I don't think I'm going to cook any of these tonight. I'm sorry. I think most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but I think it was a lot of information to cover. She is leaving us in suspense. Mike, you only use the best instant crap on sale. Is that only for camping? You only use the best instant crap? They're honestly, when I lived in Mexico for about a year, and we would do. They mostly did instant coffee down there, and I think they put like a sweetened condensed milk or something in there. That was actually really good. Not too many people had brewed coffee. Most of the people that I knew of in Mexico were drinking instant coffee, and it wasn't good at the time either. Do you make special meals at home for the sole purpose of reheating or recooking in the field? So meal prep for camping, motocamping. I don't, but I like the idea. It could be something that you could freeze, and then it would thaw throughout the day, and then you could warm up. So You could like do some a breakfast. I wouldn't do some, but I would do like a breakfast burrito. So if day 0, you could throw in like a frozen burrito, a breakfast burrito, or a dinner burrito, I guess. And if it was frozen and then you threw it in your bag, you could take it with you. And then either for dinner, you could throw it on the skillet and then warm it up. But I like that idea. That's actually, I'm trying to think of what else you could do. You could do, there's a lot of meal prep videos out there, but most of them take the little plastic totes. But I think that would work. Yeah, I agreed, Chris. I think that was a great idea. And yes, leftovers for the first day. If it was something that I could just like have all the ingredients and then throw it in a bag and then make a burrito when I got to camp that night or the next morning, I could do that too. It wouldn't necessarily have to be all frozen together. But I say burritos because that's to me like a hiking or a camping meal. It's such an easy thing to grab a tortilla and throw the ingredients in it, and you can make a burrito or a taco or something like that. But I guess you could do like you could brown some meat, brown some hamburger or something like that. You could make tacos, or you could, and then that way it's a cooked meat already, and then it just has to stay somewhat cool. It doesn't have to stay cold, like a raw meat would have to. But that's an interesting idea. Thank you, Angel Face. Yeah. Summer will cook all of her bacon. Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Pre-cooked bacon. You know what? I was thinking about that for one of the breakfast ideas because they sell in the grocery store. They sell the pre-cooked bacon in the packets, and then that way it just has to stay cool. It doesn't have to stay cold. Um, but yeah, why not just cook it at home and then pack it and then bring it with? That's a good idea. Exactly, Angel Face. Yeah, you could put a very well-rounded meal in there. And you're not even a camper. No, that is a good idea. That's a great idea. So what are we at? All right. Well, we're right at an hour. I think I'm going to call it unless we have some more involvement in the questions. But yeah, thank you for that question, Angel Face. That was a great idea. And my wife just might have to wait until I get up there and cook up there. Since I didn't bring the Jetboil, most of the meals that I did, I mean, I could have done, but with the one pot, but it would definitely be easier if I had the Jetboil and the skillet going. All right. The sun is not set quite yet. I'm going to get packed up before it does. And like I said, if you want the list of meals, shoot me an email at myadv at 360 myadv myadv360 at gmail.com. Put in the subject line day 7 meals, and then I'll send you out the list of meals that we did tonight. Corned beef hash for the next stream. We'll do that. We'll do the corned beef hash. We'll do the powdered eggs. The hash, yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Next month's live, one of them we'll do multiple meals. One of the meals will be corned beef hash. We'll include that on there. Maybe we'll do spam. Did we do spam? We haven't done spam yet. Maybe we'll do a couple. A couple canned meats. All right. First Thursday. Is that next Thursday? No. There's an extra Friday this month. First Friday of June will be Motorcycle and Pancakes live. The second Tuesday, I believe it is, will be the Tall Man Moto live stream. Third Friday will be Critter Moto's live stream. And then I will be back here on the fourth Friday with some corned beef and hash in June. Do a breakfast and dinner combo. That's a good idea. Okay. Breakfast and dinner combo. All right, you heard it here first. June's live stream will be breakfast and dinner combo. Corned beef hash will be included. Maybe not in both. Okay. All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining me tonight. 7 meals plus a bonus on day 0. Got it all covered. Love you guys. Talk to you later.